Our great republic was founded on a simple yet bold idea. Our rights as citizens are not granted to us by government, but instead by God. 250 years ago, the Revolutionary War was fought to secure our God-given rights. The Second Amendment to our Constitution enshrines the right of all citizens to carry weapons to protect themselves, their families, and their fellow countrymen.
I'm just curious, Pete. Did Jesus sign the Declaration of Independence? Did Jesus create the Second Amendment? Is his name on there? Because I haven't seen it. Did God come down from heaven and sign it? Did he? Did he sign the Bill of Rights? No? Well, what are you saying, that it was found on God? You know who wrote the Second Amendment and the Constitution and all this? White supremacist, slave-owning white men. You want to talk about the 3/5 clause? No, not that, huh? Oh, yeah, because that interferes with your version of a Christian nation. Maybe you'd like to explain to all, Pete, in this Christian nation, why black people weren't considered citizens in the 1860s. Or why black people couldn't vote till the 1960s. You don't want to talk about that. But let's talk about the Second Amendment, because you, as a mediocre white man with a micro penis, need a gun to feel like a real man. The Second Amendment was written for a tyrannical government through a well-regulated militia, Pete. So are you going to go and push for gun reform in this country to make sure that guns are well-regulated? Because that's part of the Second Amendment as well. Are you going to make sure that the number one cause of death is gun violence in kids? But you won't do a damn thing about that because you're a Christian, aren't you, Pete? Nothing to see here, right? Because you're a Christian. You work in a tyrannical government with a fascist. You literally serve with a man that is a rapist and is actively defending child molesters. What if your daughter was at Epstein Island and Donald Trump was covering up for that? How would you feel, Pete? Because you're a pro-life Christian, right? But you don't care about that. No, God, Jesus, God, Jesus. See, this is the ignorance of white nationalism, right? Anytime you want to believe something, you just slap a sticker on it. Oh, God wanted this. Oh, God wanted that. Oh, God wanted this. It's funny, isn't it? How people like this alcoholic, God never tells them to fight for gun reform or universal health care, to raise minimum wage. God never tells Pete to defend the victims of Epstein Island, or the 5 officers that died after January 6th, or the women that are dying of sepsis from lack of health care because of Roe versus Wade. It's funny how God never tells you to do anything that actually helps another human being. But a gun, a piece of metal, it's no different than this. It's a thing. That you worship because it helps you make up for your insecurities. Now, why you ended up like a loser, Pete, I don't know. But let's talk about you, because by your fruits shall you be judged. Just like that orange tree, right? By your fruits shall you be judged. By the same measure you judge, lest you be judged. So you're on your 3rd marriage, right, Pete? Because you're a Christian, right? So you made a commitment before your wife, God, and your wife's family, and said, I will love you for better or for worse. And every time, what'd you do? You're banging woman after woman after woman after woman because you're a Christian, right, Pete? And you had a daughter out of wedlock. And then you married her, another Fox News anchor, because you're such a winner, right, Pete? Just out of curiosity, why did you pay a woman $50,000 for sexual harassment? It must have been because you were having a Bible study, right, Pete? Why were you on a stage in Louisiana on stripper poles, getting drunk, passed out in meetings? Just curious, Pete, because you're a Christian, right? Yeah, you're about as much Christian as Hitler was. Faith without works, says Pete Hegseth, because that's what you are. You're why we're here. Now, I don't know why you're like this. There's a lot of reasons why mediocre white men with small penises turn out like you, right? There's something in your childhood. Most of the time, your dad breastfed you too long, or your mom abandoned you. You were kicked off the softball team. Maybe you didn't make the ice skating team, or you got kicked off the dance squad, or the girls smelt the loser on you, and you have something where you need to feel like an alpha male, right? See, that's what you did, Pete, right? The Department of War, the perception of strength. Operation Fury, that's manly. Let's make 1776 chicks. The warrior chick, it's strong. It covers up your insecurities. That's all it is. You literally have an all-white tattoo on your chest. You are a white supremacist. That's what you are. The man that you serve right now has taken down black history, didn't rent to black people, asked for the execution in a newspaper in New York for 5 men that were later found innocent. Still hasn't apologized, Pete. I thought you were a pro-life man. Why did he have dinner with Nick Fuentes, a white nationalist, a Nazi sympathizer? It must be because he's totally not a racist, right? How about when he questioned the birth of Barack Obama? Or he said, Harris just turned black. Oh yeah, I'm sure that's all just a misunderstanding. Taking down black history at the Smithsonian, taking down the black history in Philadelphia, right? Yeah, totally not a racist, right? Yeah. Sure, you tell yourself that, Pete, because that's what this is, right? This is about the white man wanting to maintain the white male patriarchy. Most of these Pete Hegseths make America great again with 6 teeth and 3 brain cells that inbreed, that are white trash. This is their life. You guys vote for Republicans because you're too stupid to actually care about the better good of this country. And you run around God, Jesus, God. And you all say you're pro-life. You won't do a damn thing to help anybody in this country. But you'll fight tooth and nail for a gun, a thing, an object, a piece of metal. It's funny, Pete. What do you think Jesus would do? Would Jesus be fighting for the children that die from gun violence every year? Or would he be fighting for people in the military to open carry in the military? Would he be fighting for homeless people, 800,000? Or would he be serving an administration with a man that is an adjudicated rapist? Kind of makes you wonder, right, Pete? Because you're a Christian, you're pro-life. But according to Pete Hegseth, this is his version of Christianity. It is white supremacy wrapped up in Bible verses and gold crosses and symbols like flags and bald eagles and God bless America, because it invokes an emotional reaction in these mediocre white men. It makes them feel like they have purpose and strength in its weakness, because any man that cheats on his wife again and again and has daughters out of wedlock is an insecure little bitch. And that's what you are, Pete. You're an insecure little bitch. And you serve with the president who is an adjudicated rapist and was best friends with the #1 child molester in the history of the world. But you go ahead, Pete. You go ahead and you keep telling yourself in this white supremacist country that God wrote the Second Amendment. You tell yourself that, Pete. You can be on the right side of history, Pete, or the right side of history. I think we all know what you're going to do with your all-white tattoo. But I'm sure, Pete, that this is all because you just want people to be pro-life, right? Because you're a Christian. Have a white day, Pete.